to this tremendous session on global retailing. We have managed to attract the cream de la cream. I'll tell you, among the group of retail giants this morning, we have $100 billion in sales. This is something we've started to become a tradition at CES. Every 2 years we get some of the top retailers in the world, and we put them on stage and we talk about what the trends are and what is occurring. What I'm going to do is I'm going to join these gentlemen. They're each going to introduce themselves and give about a few sentences just to describe their country, their company, and their country. And then I am going to ask some questions. If you have some questions, there'll be people circulating with cards. Write them out in the cards, and more towards the end, I'll start going to the questions from the audience in writing. So prepare yourself for a fun session. Here we go. And we could start it out, Brian.
In Shanghai, and our 5-star chain, which is located in Nanjing, we have 4,600 outlets around the world.
Yep.
Hard to follow that. Hi, good morning. I'm Gilbert Fiorentino. I'm CEO of Systemax Technology Group. We do about $3 billion a year with about $1 billion in Europe under the Misco brand. And then in North America, we own Tiger Direct. On the internet branding, we bought CompUSA, and we have 36 stores that we operate now, and we're growing that business on the retail store side. And in 2009, we bought the remains of Circuit City and have revived that as an internet product, circuitcity.com, and that's alive and kicking today.
Hi, this is Srikanth here. I'm from Excite, India. The second fastest growing economy in the world and the biggest retail opportunity of 21st century. So it is a real pleasure and great honor to be part of this august panel and to talk about India.
Good morning, I'm Gary Severson. I work for Walmart, a small regional retailer in Bentonville, Arkansas. And we have stores across a number of countries that sell a few different things.
We announced our sales for December. We were quite pleased that with a 13% revenue growth, we had a 9.3% domestic comp. And I'm actually as or more pleased that we have robust comp performance in our businesses in China. Our European business was on plan, and our Canadian business had a terrific Boxing Day, so we couldn't be more pleased. So naturally, the market greeted us with a $1.25 decline this morning. That was the start of my day, and thanks for reminding me. I appreciate that.
Well, that Canadian Boxing League must have been the thing that put you
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
Well, that's, and any recent announcements, anything you've seen at the show that you've liked, or excited you?
Yeah, I'm extraordinarily optimistic and very excited about what I've seen here at the show this week. I think what's happening with 3D television is going to be very, very interesting and bring a lot of excitement. I'm thrilled to hear ESPN's announcement. I'm thrilled to hear DirecTV's announcement, so there's going to be some content there. And the product we've seen and the meetings we've had around it are really quite interesting. I think that's going to be a terrific consumer equation. I think that there are really interesting things happening all around the smartphone business, and you can sort of go category by category through our store, and there are areas of terrific innovation we're going to see that I think are going to stimulate the business.
And on you, Gary, I know that you've been very busy.
And I think there's going to be a real opportunity for this industry to help customers light that up. That's really going to be quite fun.
Absolutely. Gil, any impressions walking around the floor?
Pretty much the same, pretty exciting about 3D. I think we're going to have the game.
I'm happy to dive in. I think it's as we all know, it's a bone of some contention. And I really think that we have to triangulate around the customer. And I think the customer has a responsibility to recycle and to make appropriate decisions around their end of life for products. I think the retailers like Gary and myself and others we have a big role to play in terms of providing an environment, a format, a venue to process those goods. I think the manufacturers have their role to play in helping support that end of life, because I'll tell you, the problem grows exponentially, because I don't think we're in a world where television lifespan is 15 years anymore. I think we're in a world, into a space where people are going to be looking to actively replace television screens, primary screens, over sort of a 5-year window. I think the technology will move enough. This is exciting news for all of us. Technology will move enough over 5-year increments that people will be looking to upgrade their television, their experience. And so the problem grows in complexity, and I think it's something that the industry needs to be together on.
See, with
That line will live forever in many pleadings and filings.
In arranging customer interactions and spending a lot of time talking to our best customers, our moderately interested customers, and we see that moving as an important factor for them pretty significantly year over year. So I think there's a bit of a momentum behind this. It's going to be really important.
DTV transition. How did we do and did we learn anything as an industry?
Who would you like to answer
Well,
that?
Gary, you spend a lot of time. Why don't you think about what the television, what home entertainment has become? It's essentially sort of a new heart. Where families and friends gather around and share experiences. Certainly in my home, it operates that way. And we took what was so intimate, so deeply entwined part of the American experience, and we put it through a pretty massive change. And I think it was a great exercise in change management. It actually helps pave the way for the changes ahead as you think about what's going to happen with technology and what people are actually going to be able to do.
I agree. I think it
I'll sort of echo Gary's point here. And we'll think it was one of those inflection points that actually opened up our collective intellectual architecture to the art of what's possible. And that people start to think about, instead of being intimidated by all these great innovations, this great technology that we're seeing so vividly here, instead of being intimidated by that, instead thinking about, I can do this, I can do that, and I think that is great news for people, and I think it's terrific news for our industry.
I think it's a phenomenal point, because as we're going forward, we're looking now at we need additional spectrum for different things. Getting spectrum requires some changes of some other industries in cooperation, some that we worked with before, but it's true. For me, the DTV transition, for what it's worth, even though I'm not a panelist, I'm a threat.
But here we go, Gary.
It was great.
It's there, it's
No,
right.
everyone said the sky would fall, it didn't. I'm so excited about it. I've worked on it for 15 years. I'm going to have my tombstone's going to be 16:9 aspect ratio. I met my wife because of digital television. I think it was great. Gil, do you want to top that? But going forward, I have a number of questions here actually, and about the internet and how it's being used to market products. What's the trend? What's the change in terms of marketing and in terms of the internet purchasers versus the non-internet purchasers, or have they merged into one?
Well, I'll certainly talk from a Best Buy perspective. Our experience has been that our website, bestbuy.com, influences almost 60% of our purchases in the store. In other words, customers go to our website first, do some research, take a peek at what's interesting, then they come in and see us and see how it, touch, feel, and have the experience we're able to do at Best Buy when we get it right. And I think it continues to be important in terms of communities that customers were able to connect, and communities of interest, communities of passion around the possibilities that this technology provides. And the internet continues to be a very, very important space to our multi-channel strategy.